Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Today's podcast is sponsored by SLI Systems, providers of intelligent site search and navigation solutions. Learn more at sli-systems.com and listen to their interviews at ecommercepodcast.com.
Your path to e-commerce success starts right here. You're listening to Practical E-commerce, the podcast for e-commerce results.
Welcome back to another Practical E-commerce podcast. My name is Brian Getting, and this is the August 28th, 2006 weekly podcast. This September issue, we have a special feature in the magazine on hosted and software-based shopping cart solutions, options for people. And to sort of sneak peek on that, Mitch Bettis had a chance to interview Julian Green, who is the director of ProStore's. Essentially, in 2005, it sounds like eBay purchased what's called StoreSense from a company called Current, and sort of changed it into what's now called ProStore's, which is an e-commerce solution for small to medium-sized merchants. They've signed up tens of thousands of online merchants, and Mitch and Julian had a chance to talk about the landscape of shopping cart options and what small e-commerce businesses have available to them, and what some of the merits of a hosted solution might be to help them out. So here we go. Turn it over to Mitch.
Before we get to eBay stores specifically, can we talk about that in generic kind of context and kind of what an all-in-one solution brings to the table for someone looking for a shopping cart solution?
The good news is we're in an exciting time, right? We're in a really exciting time, and a lot of technology developments have come together to the point where things that were not possible before are now possible and, in fact, really easy for everyone. There's a few trends that are sort of going on that, I have no unique insight into. I mean, this is very general on the internet, but, the fact that now everyone has access through reasonable connections at relatively high connection speeds and have, internet browsers and are able to access technology, that way is clearly enables the whole hosted and web services model. The fact that with a hosted solution, it removes the need for each individual merchant or person to host the software on their computers is huge, right? They don't have to buy the same level of hardware. They don't have to be responsible for security. They don't have to update the software if there are bugs or issues with the software. They don't have to troubleshoot it. I mean, think back to the bad old days of having to effectively be your own IT person. The whole power of hosted software solutions is that you don't need to be an IT expert. All you have to be able to do is use a browser. And you basically outsource all the IT expertise to whoever the solution provider is, who has huge economies of scale. So they can look after one installation of the software. They can make sure that installation is running well and is configured with the hardware and so on, and provide the service out to lots and lots of people all at once. So that's really exciting. And, think of some of the advantages. If you're a small software company, as most e-commerce shopping cart companies have been, and you're producing, let's say, a few versions of the software each year, you upgrade it a few times, you're not able to react very quickly. And you're not able to fix security issues. You're not able to fix bugs. With a hosted solution, we can fix a bug, the same day. And it rolls out to everyone, and they don't even notice. So they don't have to do anything. It's not like they have to, install a Microsoft security patch or anything like that, right? It just happens as a hosted solution, and it just propagates out as they access that through the browser. So it's really a much more superior solution from a security standpoint, from the ability to update the product much more often. to actually have much less cost in the system, so you can give much better value to the users of the solution because they're not having to spend all the time and effort running software on their own computers. And really there are a lot of benefits. Also, through the use of web services, so ProStores has an API using XML transactions to allow third parties to integrate to the software. And so, for example, web services that you would access, like shipping services or tax services, which are also accessed through a browser. In the old days of software, you would have to yourself download an extra bit of software so that your shopping cart would work with a shipping solution or a tax solution. With the hosted version, the hosted solution provider can do that integration with the shipping or the tax provider once on the server, and it just becomes available to the user. So there's really lots and lots of benefits, and it's tough to think of really any downsides.
So what kind of skill level does one need to manage his or her store at a hosted solution like a ProStore in terms of managing inventory or managing all elements of that store? What kind of technical skill level do they need to typically bring to the table?
Well, in terms of the user interface, the simplest level, it sort of depends on what you want to do, but at the simplest level, if you can do your email online, you can manage your store online. All you're doing is clicking links, selecting options, going through templates, going through wizards, being guided to the choices you have to make to design your store, to pick from templates, to select which payment provider you're going to use, to put in your shipping rates and tax rates. So really just from an interface perspective, as I said, if you can do your email and if you can browse the internet, then you can set up a store. If you want to get super sophisticated at the top end, and this applies more to the bigger businesses, if you want to integrate with your suppliers in your supply chain, or you want to have automatic messages sent out to drop shippers, or you want to do super sophisticated design work, which requires you to go in and do HTML coding, or you want to really customize particular things within the store, then there is the opportunity to mess with code. But again, it's designed to be easy and to be an appropriate level of expertise required to do those things.
On the design side, is that something for an advanced user that is customizable, or they pretty well use a group of templates that are provided for them?
So on ProStores, we take the approach on design, and this is pretty illustrative of sort of the approach that we take in general to the different things you need to do to set up a store. We take the approach of let's give people the option as to whether they are a beginner and they want something that looks good but is fairly simple, or if they want to, if they're more advanced, or if they're, completely expert. So we have the sort of the beginner option is you literally go through a guided flow, a wizard, and you choose from the provided template, and you choose from the colors, and you add a logo by, identifying the file that you'd like to use as your logo, and you're away. You have a store, it's designed. Then and there's a WYSIWYG editor, so, what you see is what you get editor, so that you could then take that design and template, and you can literally drag and drop the different elements of that to sort of move them around a bit. You could click into a line of text and type away and change that text, and you could click on parts of that design and change the colors. So, up to this point, no advanced skills required whatsoever. Then there is a more advanced sort of the middle approach is what we think of as the advanced approach to design, where you can have access to there's another editor which is slightly more sophisticated, has more options on it, and you can also there's an option there to look at the actual HTML code. And then at the expert level, and at that point, you have complete control over the HTML, so you can customize the site to be exactly what you want. And with ProStores, the nice thing is you get that ability on every page. So it's not just the home page, it's not just the product detail pages, it's not just the category detail pages. If you wanted to customize the checkout flow, or even the emails that get sent that notify the customer of various things. You can customize everything. Then at the expert level, we have an integration similar to, when I was referring to the advantages of hosted solutions. One of the things that we have is a connection to Dreamweaver, where you can actually, through the API, Dreamweaver will recognize the information, the design information on your store. You can then play with it in Dreamweaver. You can push it back into ProStores, and it recognizes all the various code and the tags.
In particular with ProStores, I believe from a previous discussion, it also has a unique feature that allows an integration with an auction eBay store as well. Is that correct? Isn't there some way to integrate those, a ProStore and an eBay store?
Absolutely. So, as we were talking about a second ago, it's all about traffic. You've got to get the people to come to your items. And, with ProStores, there is an integration with eBay where, of course, there are millions and millions of buyers. For you to be able to take your product information, that you're showing your products on your site and that are in your ProStores product catalog, and push that information to eBay. It not only helps you create listings for multiple items very easily, but it then also does something that's very important, which is manages your inventory count. So, the excitement of multi-channel e-commerce is you can get your items in front of buyers wherever they are, and ProStores is committed to making sellers successful by getting them in front of buyers wherever those buyers might be on the internet. But the challenge that comes along with that is that you don't want to sell the same item twice to two different people, because then one of them's not going to get it. So you need to manage your inventory. You need to make sure you're keeping a running total of what you have available. What ProStores does when it lists to eBay and to the other places that it lists to is that it will decrement your inventory, or manage your inventory, so you never get in the position of selling the same item twice.
I'd like to get your input here kind of on a big picture topic, kind of beyond the notion of even the whole shopping cart concept. And as we look at today's e-commerce landscape, do you see certain trends? Do you see things that will be incorporated in the future with a hosted solution or any other options that might help merchant further expand his or her business? Do you see things out there on the plateau, so to speak, of in today's kind of e-commerce landscape that might impact the future? What are we going to see around the corner?
Well, it's pretty exciting. The development, where we've got to where we are today is that instead of having all these separate bits of software that you have to integrate to get your solution, and putting hosting together with a shopping cart software and shipping and payments and so on, now it's all one solution. So, ProStores and other solutions, you have everything you need, that you can access through the browser. I think where we are going and what's really exciting around the corner is if product like ProStores has a good API, which is just the interface points for different services and software to integrate with the product, then you can leverage all the other solutions that are out there. So ProStores just announced its developer network, and now we have folks that are developing the ProStores API. And what that means is that people with great tax solutions, shipping solutions, sourcing solutions for product from other countries, and many other different types of solution are integrating to ProStores, and those services will become available to the merchants. So it basically multiplies the amount of product innovation that can be done. And, the dream is that everything works together and it becomes completely seamless to the merchant. So they don't have to think about, I need to go get, some other solution. It's just an option that's available within the product. So I think that's one of the really big trends, sort of the web services trend, that having a hosted solution enables.
Okay, that's going to wrap up our weekly podcast for August 28th, 2006. Once again, be sure to look at our September issue for more information on shopping cart options, and also check our website at www.practicalecommerce.com. We also have our forum contest going. Don't forget to get in our website and check our forums. At the end of this week, actually, we will be awarding another $100 gift certificate to Amazon.com. Let's go randomly to people on the forum. So get in there and participate, and you got a chance to win.